Greetings everyone, here we are with another delightful video from me to you through the power of the internet and the video sharing platform known as YouTube at this current point in time. This is a fresh unpackaging of the Game Master's kit for Star Wars Edge of the Empire role-playing game. From originally was Fantasy Flight, but now Edge Studios. Some time ago, probably a few months back, Fantasy Flight sold all their RPGs over to Edge Studios, which I find rather interesting in itself. And Fantasy Flight decided to simply focus more on board games and card games, which, anyways, to be to the point, is a much more lucrative range of gaming than tabletop role-playing games and video games. Video game industry happens to be going into a crap because people are getting sick of the AAA industry doing stupid stuff and making a mess of everything. So, and ruining franchises and all kinds of horrible stuff. And weirdly enough, Hasbro seems to be wanting to turn into a video gaming company, but also at the same time is making all the mistakes that the AAA video gaming companies are making. That's killing the AAA gaming companies. So, dear goodness, Hasbro, you're gonna not live long for this world. So, anyways, let's get into Star Wars Edge of the Empire role-playing game Master Kit. I did not open this up yet, so I had to break out the scary knife. Or I should get the Crombit. No, I'll use this knife. So anyways, how are you doing today? I happen to be just batch making a bunch of videos. It was on a Sunday before the week gets going. The day of the recording of this happens to be the 70th anniversary of Godzilla, which is awesome in itself. Godzilla is literally a record setter for the most movies in a franchise. So hey, gotta love kaiju. Ooh, fun. But anyways, if there's anything you are interested in TTRPGs, and have you looked through my back catalog of videos and not seen the thing you're most interested in, please leave a comment below and find out. Maybe I'll look into it. If enough people request a thing, then I'll probably do it. So here we go. We have the screen. Oh my goodness, that's a really nice high quality screen. We have the cover sheet, which is basically just a standard glossy piece of paper. And then we have Debts to Pay, an adventure for Edge of the Empire. So that's really nice that it comes with an adventure. First and foremost, looking through it, it looks like it's fairly nice. My only issue is that they choose to use gray text over a dark gray text over a dirty white or light gray background, and that's a terrible choice of color combination. Dirty white background with a light or a lightish gray black text is not a good choice. You want to probably increase the boldness of this text by 50%. Just to make it noticeable, and put a shadow on, darken up these letters here. But anyways, as you can see, there's a nice box out. Weird choice of colors of light yellowish on red, dark red, specifically maroon, I do believe, and that's golden yellow, which is a poor choice. So my issue is that whoever decided to do the layout for it has made poor choices in color combinations, and they're kind of just stuck with it now for the system. This is yet again another example of you got some. This is slightly better, white on black, but the text is so thin that actually is harder for some people to read it. It's hard to imagine if some people with worse eyes than mine, and I have one really good eye, and I got one eye that's slightly lazy. So, besides the ADHD and the autism working against me, and the mild dyslexia, I can still read this. It's just probably going to result in me becoming tired from reading it. And that's not a good thing, because you don't want the people straining to read your product, because then it makes it unenjoyable to read it. And if it's unenjoyable to read the product or go through it, then you're less likely to sell that product. The Game Master screen, however, oh my goodness, this is slightly textured surface, really nice, really thick cardboard construction. My goodness, this is like premium grade. This is basically high-end board game cardboard. My goodness. Beautiful artwork. Oh, throughout the whole thing. Like someone decided we're not gonna give a low quality product. We're gonna make a dang good product. And then they screwed up and they used really fine text inside of it. So as you can see here, I might have to made this a higher resolution for you to read it. But as you can see, it's really nice that they included a key up here for the dice and the symbols. That's essential if you use a custom dice system, as well as how many dice to a roll and stuff like that. I do like that. That's choices. However, I don't care for the fact that it's really fine text on a dirty white background. And I mean dirty white, as in it looks like it's like someone who has had dirty fingers touched it. And trust me, I know, because I work at a scrapyard, what dirty fingers can do to white paper. So I'm not They put in the effort to make a extremely high quality surface for the artwork, as well as use high-end, high-quality cardboard stock, book cover, board game cardboard stock for this, and then make all these charts, and then they screw it up ever so slightly. It's not unredeemable. You can still read it. It just makes it harder to read by using really fine text in a dirty white background. That is regrettable. Other than that, you can see that they have a strong focus on clean boxing and organization of everything on the screen. The problem is that they crammed so much into the screen. This is a situation where it would have helped that this would have been if this was a 5-panel. And I keep saying I want 5-panel Game Master screens. Those would be absolutely freaking awesome. And it would be hard to do. You could just simply take this and have the 5th panel fold over like this. Oops. It folds the other way. You could have the 5th panel just fold back the other way. And it would be just ever so slightly thicker. And then that would have given you more opportunity to make the text a little bit bigger and spread stuff out. But that is not the case. So I give it an A+++ for the quality of construction and the cart and the artwork on the whole thing, as these are exceedingly iconic scenes for the system, yet it is not literally just copy paste from the movies. It is as if it's a new scene, but it's very much in the flavor and style of the movies and everything else. So you definitely can feel like this would have belonged in Star Wars. But at the same time, for the Edge of the Empire system, for whatever reason, they chose dirty white background. And it's variable. You could see it get worse or better in spots. Like here. So it's an inconsistent pattern of dirtiness that goes through the entire thing. And considering how fine the text is, that is a bit annoying. However, it is not so incredibly severe that it is completely unusable. It just makes it harder to read it quickly and fluidly in a hurry. So, one of the key issues in Game Master screens is that oftentimes when you have a vertical Game Master screen, a lot of modern Game Master screens are horizontal or landscape. This is a vertical setup. When you have a vertical Game Master screen, they stand taller, and you are more likely to have shadow across the bottom of the area. So take my camera here, and you could take my light, and you could see more shadow generate right here. And it becomes harder to read whatever is in the shadow in these taller screens. I'm lucky that I actually have multiple exceedingly bright lights in my area, in my office/room, that I can easily read this. However, I game in various places that have lighting that is not even half as good as this, and that will result in all this text down here becoming exceedingly hard to read in a hurry. Which would mean, in order for me to read it in a hurry, I have to do this kind of thing. Oh, okay, yeah. 51 plus equals dead, complete, obliterated to death. I'm sorry, Matt. Your character is, your character has been smashed all across the top of a ship. I'm sorry. Anyways, so, oh, by the way, it's this D100 here. There is a color gradient here. You can see that it is going from lighter to darker. This is minor, easy, and this is low damage, and this is moderately heavy, and this is severe down here, and this is difficulty in that. So you can scale it as you go. So there is some really intelligent and creative design choices in this Game Master screen, but the fact that it is a vertical as opposed to a landscape complicates things. This is a landscape, and this will actually show you a height difference in at least an inch and some difference. Personally, I don't mind verticals because vertical means it's harder for people to look over you. However, as you can see here, comparison of a vertical to a landscape. Let's straighten up the edge here. A landscape goes just about one entire panel out past the vertical. This edge is even over here by my finger, if you can see. So this happens to be the Game Master screen for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition for the 2014, the revised one. or the reincarnated Game Master screen, as opposed to the screwed up inferior one, which I don't remember if I did already. But anyways. So I do like it. Improvements that they could do. First and foremost, get rid of the dirty white background. It should be either entirely white, clean white, completely clean white, and this should be in all these boxes should be increased in size. They could probably make up for by increasing the size and keeping everything on here by making this a 5-panel or a 6-panel, which is not terribly hard to do. They can take this and fold it like this, and then they could have the 5th panel fold over this way, and then the 6th panel fold back the other way. And you would have the first 6-panel Game Master screen on the market, which I don't know why there isn't 6-panel Game Master screens. That would definitely increase the area in which the Game Master can hide all their little evil machinations and all their little minions. But anyways, you could literally hide armies behind a 6-panel Game Master screen. But Game Master screens pretty much come in 3 to 4, vertical or landscape, one or the other, you know. You got a nice little weapon qualities table down here. As I said, you have the dice symbols. You got cost options for results, difficulty levels, attack difficulties, ranged difficulty modifiers, spending, threat, and despair in combat, melee weapons right here, ranged weapons, character critical injury results. By the way, they also include the page number for these rules and these important sections referencing the core rulebook, actions and maneuvers encounters, armor, and critical vehicle critical hit results, as well as silhouette comparison and damage control difficulty and medical check difficulty. Medical checks down here. You know, honestly, I would say the vehicle critical hit results should be taken from the top and moved to the bottom. And the silhouette comparison, the medical check difficulty, and the damage control difficulty bar down here should be put on top. And this probably should be switched down to here. Put the weapon qualities on the top of this. It might make it easier to read in this fine text. As I said, the only problem with this is it's all really fine text on a dirty white background. If you don't have great lighting, it's going to be a pain in the ass to use this. If you have great lighting and you have good eyes, you're good. Overall, for a person who has poor eyes, this is a 2.75 star Game Master screen. This Game Master screen is going to be hard to use. You are going to struggle. You're going to have to make sure you have good lighting. Maybe some white sheet of paper down here, like a white cloth to reflect light in the room back up into it to make it easier to read. If you don't have you don't have good eyesight, this Game Master screen is not good. If you have good eyesight, this is a 3.25 star Game Master screen. And I'm sorry to say that is the case. The adventure included is a nice add-on. I do like having the adventure included. I'm all for including adventures, small adventures, like one-shots included with Game Master screens. That just gives the Game Master one more thing they can pull out in an emergency. Like, Nathan and Nate are not here, or I guess we're going to have to run a one-shot. Well, I happen to have this little thing I read it randomly every so often because I got bored, or sitting right here Here, let's go ahead and play through Debts to Pay. So there we go. And the Debts to Pay adventure is suffers from the same kind of issue: dirty white background with light, thin text. So sadly, that is also similarly affected. It seems to be fairly well written overall. It's just, and it has really nice artwork, by the way, in it too. So that's a similar situation. So the whole thing together sits around like that 3 star to 3.25 star territory. It's functional, yet it seriously probably needs a revision to make it better. Make it into a 5 or 6 panel. Expand the text on these things, please. And darken up the text so it's easier to read. And remove the dirty white background. No dirty white background. Same thing with the adventure, and it'll be good. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this short little video, and yeah, it's still somewhat shortish. Please consider subscribing and liking the channel and hitting the bell. If you have any advice or anything you want to, you're particularly interested in, like you want more Pathfinder 2nd Edition, or you want more Call of Cthulhu, or My Little Pony, or Tales of Equestria, or Octoon Cthulhu, or Starfinder stuff, or whatever, please leave it in the comments below. If enough people leave a comment for it, I will probably add it to my list of things to do, or bring it up faster in my pile of things to cover. So there you go. I hope you have a delightful day, a nice night, a wonderful weekend, a magnificent month, and see you next time. Ciao.